guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about how to set a realistic grocery budget. So let's get to it. Grocery prices have risen more than 25% since 2019, according to the USDA, but earnings have not risen at the same rate. And so how do you set a budget that is realistic? Because I know when we first started getting into paying off our debt and budgeting, what I thought we were spending on groceries was way less than what we were actually spending. And I don't know, it depends which situation you're in, if you're doing the grocery shopping or your partner is, but in our case, my husband does the grocery shopping, and when I saw how much we were spending, I was like, what? Why are we spending all of this money on groceries? However, groceries are expensive. And he was like, this is what I'm spending. This is what things cost. And so setting a realistic budget means also that you really fully understand the price of what things cost if you are not the person who is actually doing the shopping for your family. And also, if you are the person doing the shopping, again, that you know how much things cost, that you're not just throwing things in your cart without tracking it or, paying attention to prices, because it matters, especially now, if things being a lot, and if you are trying to get out of debt or trying to reach a financial goal, then probably groceries is one of the things that's underneath housing. It's probably at the very tippy top of your monthly budget spending, right? How much money you're spending per month. All right, so let's get into some tips here as far as how to set a realistic budget for grocery shopping. So step one is to assess what you are currently spending, which we just talked about. So make sure you pull all receipts or go into your bank account and look through and see and write down exactly how much you spent in the prior month on groceries. All the grocery stores you went to, you probably are going to exclude any kind of takeout food, but anything you actually spent at the grocery store, write it down so that you have a total, so you know exactly how much you spent the prior month and maybe even the month before that, to kind of give you a basis as far as what you've been spending historically. So you need to track it, write it down, and have that number, and that is step one. And now step two, every family's needs are different. So step two is assessing what that realistic budget would be for you and your family, meaning the size of your family. How many people are you feeding? If you are feeding 6 people like we are in our family, we have 4 kids, and then there's myself and my husband, our 6-person family budget for monthly grocery shopping is probably going to be more than if it's just you and your partner, or just you. How many people are you feeding? That's obviously step one you need to take into account. Dietary needs. If you are lactose intolerant or you are eating only plant-based, like I am, then that's obviously a factor as well. So any kind of, if you're gluten, if you can't handle gluten, if you're gluten-free, those obviously are things that are going to impact how much you're spending, what you need to buy based off of your dietary needs. Then we have location. Where you live matters. Prices of food is different based off what region of the world or the country that you live in. So if certain produce is grown in your area, it's probably going to be less expensive than if that produce needs to be flown in from other parts of the country or other parts of the world. So where you live obviously impacts what types of items are more or less expensive for you in the grocery store. Then there is cooking habits. Do you mostly cook from scratch, which is probably the least expensive way to go? Or do you need things to be more convenient because you are really short on time? So then obviously you're going to be buying different types of items based off of what your cooking habits are, your cooking style. So a common rule of thumb as far as how much money to spend on your groceries is typically about 10 to 15% of your income on your groceries. Obviously, like I said, if you've got a larger family, it's probably going to be a higher percentage of your income. And then obviously, but usually around 15%-ish. So if we look at some of the stats about locations, it says that residents in Mississippi, West Virginia, and Arkansas spend the highest percentage of their income on groceries, according to Wallet Hub. And New Jersey residents only spend about 1.5% of their income on groceries, the lowest percentage. Now, after you do all that, step 3 is to plan out your meals. Okay, what kind of meals are you going to have? This is really important because if you say we, as a family, we love tacos. So maybe you're going to buy all the taco ingredients, and then you can actually eat the leftover tacos the next day. So if you plan out your weekly meals or even monthly meals, I have a couple blog posts on my blog talking about how to plan out freezer meals for the month. But if you can plan out what you are going to eat, and then you can pre-plan purchasing it, and then you can make those meals extend several days throughout the week or throughout the month, then that can help you as far as budgeting and saving money. And I think having a plan is so important, in particular because if you don't, you're more likely to go out and just purchase ready-made food, or go to rely on takeout because you're feeling tired and you look in the fridge, you're hungry, you just don't know what to eat, and so that can lead to overspending. Or you're going out to the grocery store midweek to purchase things because you didn't really plan out appropriately what you were going to eat for dinner or for lunches every single day of the week. So then if you have it all mapped out and planned, and then you don't have to think about it so much, and it will help to prevent you from doing those random grocery store trips or takeouts, or rushing out to get a pizza because you just don't know what to eat and you feel like you're tired and you don't want to think about it. All right, the next step is to shop smart, to buy in bulk if you can. So going back to when you were meal planning, if you know what you're going to be making, if you're going to be doing some monthly freezer meals or whatnot, then you can buy in bulk. Because then you won't be wasting it. So you know exactly what you need. You have your whole plan set out, so you can go and you can purchase things that you need, and that will reduce the cost if you're buying in bulk. Also, if you can shop generic, that's going to help you to save money. If you don't need name brand products, just get the generic version, and most likely it's just as good, if not better, and it will save you a couple bucks. Shop sales. You want to be tracking sales. If there is anything on sale that that you use a lot or eat a lot, drink a lot, then maybe you want to purchase it if you see a big sale. My husband does this all the time. When certain items are on sale, then he'll go ahead and just pick up a couple extra boxes of it or whatnot, and then we store it and we have it for later. So that's another great way to reduce your monthly expenses for groceries. And having a shopping list is really important because it reduces your impulse spending. So if you know exactly what you're purchasing, I actually do like Instacart and things such as that, even though there's a fee, because then you're getting just what you need, and you're not, when you're actually, for me personally, my husband does a good job with this, but I don't. But if I'm actually in the store, I can get drawn into the end caps where they put the really yummy looking items. And so if you are impulse buying, you are absolutely going to be spending more money than you had intended to. So if you have a list and you can stick to just the items on your list that you need, because that's what you have planned as part of your meal planning, then it's going to really help you to save money versus if you go in and you're just kind of throwing things in the cart. If you've got little ones, maybe if you cannot bring them with you grocery shopping because they might be grabbing things and throwing it in the cart, or teenagers, they're grabbing things and throwing it in the cart. So it's better if you just have your list and you can stick to it and reduce the impulse spending. Now, you're going to have to adjust as needed as you go along. Some months you might spend more than what you had intended, or some weeks. Maybe you have to host, you're having a party of some sort, you're having people come over, and so you're probably going to end up spending more those months or weeks. And so you just have to constantly be watching it, adjusting your meal planning and your grocery shopping list. The whole point is to be paying attention, to be tracking it, to be writing it down. It's a process, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Probably the first week or the first month, you're going to suck at it, and it's really okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. The whole point is to be continuously learning and growing and improving and trying to work on making your budget work for you as far as for your family's needs, and then hopefully it'll help you to reduce costs in the long run overall. But probably at first maybe you might fail at it, but don't get discouraged. Just keep trying, and then eventually you're going to get it to where you get to that sweet spot, and then you really don't even have to think about it anymore. It'll probably just start to roll and be just sort of part of your everyday routine, and it's not a big deal because you've got your meal plan and you've got everything all set. But it is something that it's so personal, just like finance, very, very personal. Grocery shopping and your grocery list and your meal planning. Everybody likes to eat different things. And I don't think that there should be any judgments. If whatever you like to eat, whatever you feel is nutritious and satisfying for you and your family, then that's what you do. And maybe you want to try different things, like I talked about in my egg video, trying different egg substitutes. So you just have to continue to learn and pivot and grow and have grace with yourself and with your family, because we all make mistakes and we're just trying to do the best that we can. So if you are currently struggling with the price of eggs, I did recently put up a video talking about why eggs have been so expensive as far as what's going on in the world, and then also what kind of alternatives you can purchase instead of eggs that will help you to save money at the grocery store. So if you're interested in watching that video, I'll put it here. You can click there. And if you do, I'll see you there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay. Bye, guys.